podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Welcome to No Question About That. Bilbao or bust, apparently. And we're Bilbao Bound, Dharnish. How's it going?
It's going really good. It's insane how much happier life is when Man United pull out a good result. Like, literally insane. Like, all of a sudden, all the problems, all the shop problems that you think of, you wake up and you go, it's all right. Like, genuinely, I'm being genuine.
Nothing on earth's like being a Red, right?
There isn't.
Do you know what message I got? I got a bunch of messages this morning, like a few from friends going, have you got tickets? Did you win in the UEFA ballot?
I didn't either.
Sadly. Although I have a minor immigration problem, which probably means that I can't leave the country just at this moment. Probably, maybe. And then the other message I got, glory hunting twat that he is, former host Paul got in touch, said, do you need someone to help record after the game? I was like, oh, yeah. Were you here for the hard graft?
You were not here.
You
were not here for the 16 losses.
Yeah.
I was here.
Yeah, exactly. I had to find some... Yeah, you were here. It's like, how do we find a new creative way to say United shit?
I was here every week. What do you mean you were here? As if to say, yeah, you were kind of here. I was here every week. I had to rewatch it every week. I deserve this. I deserve something. I don't know what I deserve.
That's true. You were forced to rewatch it. Anyway, I thought we might, for a moment there last night, as we were absolutely rubbish for the first hour or so.
Minutes,
I thought it might not happen. I mean, obviously, a goal down to a screamer who, let's talk about Andre Onana as well, and then Mason Mount, Amad Diallo just completely changed the game after coming on.
Yeah, there was the subs changed the game, absolutely. He saw what was going wrong, and he was like, "I'm just going to put better players on," and it worked. That's kind of how it worked last night. But I can't lie, for 70 minutes, it was very nervous. Don't get me wrong, it was very nervous. If that Mount goal doesn't go in, I don't know what happens in the last 20 minutes. Because, like, European ties, when they get to the quarterfinal stage or the semi-final stage, and when there's two legs, there is always a portion of the game that you have to deal with and manage where the other team is going to throw everything at you. Number one, because they don't have anything to lose. And number two, because they're on the verge of going out, so of course they're going to go for it. That's why every season the Champions League is so fun, because we get into these small little periods of games where they end up being really fun. Like the Barcelona Inter game or Real Madrid Man City comebacks, where it's like, no, they're going to have to go for it. And all this these tactical battles that they have and these tactical chess matches and weeks of preparation, they go out the window, because it's like, no, we have to go for it now. And that's the section that Man United had to deal with last night. And you put it to, this isn't a good team. There is no tempo setters. Victor Lindelof was horrible last night. He was horrible. He just wasn't filling me with any comfort at all.
Has he at any point over the last 280 games filled you with comfort? But I know what you mean.
In the 1920 season, for Solskjaer, he was quite reliable next to Maguire. And in the 22-23 season under Ten Hag, where I think was Martinez got injured, he was actually, again, quite reliable. But last night, he was just... Parts of the game, I was furious, I think, even during the first half, because I was like, you're really going to sit in deep and you're going to try and low block this for 90 minutes. You're inviting pressure against the team.
Not good enough to do that.
We are, but it's like, why are you doing it for 90 minutes? Why are you doing it against the team that's got nothing to lose? These guys, they've already got smashed 3-0 at home. Do you really think they're going to be like, oh, no, just it's damage limitation? No, they're going to go for it.
Let's talk a little bit about the Bilbao goal, because this is an interesting one.
I thought it was a worldie.
I mean, it's a brilliant strike, no doubt. Like 0.03 XG on that one, so 3% of those will ever go in. But 0.09 post-shot expected goals, as in only 9% of them are not saved by the keeper. So it's a brilliant strike, but it's just in a good area for the keeper, I think. So Gary Bailey, former United
Does that
keeper,
0.09% take into account that Andre Onana's in there?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, once you've done that, because it's an average, right? The average keeper would save that 80% of the time or whatever, 90% of the time. Yeah, Andre Onana, by the week, providing more evidence that United will have to do some business in that position. Gary Bailey, the former United goalkeeper, who I have to say made a couple of big ricks in cup finals himself, saying he's gone with the wrong hand. So he went with two hands, not one, not the high hand. Yeah. And I think that's probably right in terms of his body shape. Saying this, I played goal up to age about 11 and then decided I wasn't good enough, really. So there you go. What do I know? Not much. But Gary Bailey, who knows a little bit about keeping, was quite critical of Onana there. And I guess it's a less obvious one than some of the absolute howlers he's made, in that it is near enough the top corner, but one of those he probably should have saved. So says the data.
I don't know. It's so far out.
What are you going to do?
It's so far out. It's a big problem that he doesn't fill anyone with any joy or security
or confidence
or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This club.
So you say we should marry Kondo, the guy, right? He doesn't spark joy, so we're going to chuck him.
But you had a goalkeeper who was he was the best in the world at that point when he was just saving everything under Mourinho. Okay, he's washed. He can't kick the ball, can't pass. Great. What do you do? Get a new one. Nice. How's the new one? Shit. It's like, what? What are we doing here? It's like this. They paid 50 million for him. Was it 50 million pounds?
Yeah.
You buy a goalkeeper. It's the safest thing in the world to buy a goalkeeper. With that amount of money, you just go out, you buy a very, very good goalkeeper. He offers you security. He'll save shots that he probably shouldn't need to. And we should probably be getting a keeper who's very good passing out from the back. The build-up is a huge problem under Amorim. And we haven't... How many games have we seen where you go, Onana, you can really see the difference between getting Onana and De Gea in build-up. You don't see it. He just kicks it long. He's just been either instructed to kick it long, or he's so low on confidence, he kicks it caught 50, 60 yards up the pitch for Ireland, and the ball normally goes out. There was even a sequence in the first half, maybe 5th, 6th minute in, they gave it back to him, and instead of clearing it 30, 40 yards, he chips it 5 yards in the air, like this weird Johnny Wilkinson chip in the air, where they're like, it went 5 yards away from where he is to Casemiro in the air. They had to duel with it on the edge of the penalty area. It's so jarring. So yeah, unfortunately, they're gonna have to buy another keeper. They're gonna have to.
Launched it 43% of the time from live play and 100% of the time from goal kick. So yeah, you're right. He's going long, an awful lot longer than we might have expected. So they unfortunately, I mean, there are a big list of players that United have to do business for in the summer. We're one step closer to having a decent budget, but I think the keeper situation is one that they are actively looking for. And the question is not, can you buy a goalkeeper that you can afford, right? United can find a goalkeeper that they can afford, right? They tend not to. I mean, as it turns out, we probably overpaid for Onana when they thought they'd got a bargain, apparently. So was the narrative coming out of the club. But it's more like, can you do two things? One, find a buyer for Andre Onana. You'd expect so, and actually his PSR position, like call it 10 million a year as a PSR cost, right? So can we get 30 million for him? Near enough, probably. Maybe not that much, but we get near enough, right? And so, like, financially, it's not so bad, but can you find a club to take him and his wages, which will be substantial, amongst the, 10 other deals they're going to do this summer? I mean, it's just a problem that no one would like, but we've got and have to deal with. Anyway, that wasn't the biggest problem yesterday. The biggest problem was United couldn't pass the fucking ball for the first hour.
It was just really sloppy. Again, it's the same problem. Teams know exactly what to do against Man United. 3 defenders at the back, 2 midfielders in the middle. Mark the 3 defenders when they have the ball. Whenever the ball goes to one of the 3 centre-backs, whichever one it is, Lindelof, Euro, Maguire, push on him. Push on him because they don't know what to do. When they do push on him, what do? They just give it wide to Højlund to compete in the channels. I prefer it when Højlund competes in the channels. Or they go aerially to Højlund and he'll probably lose. Or he will probably try and outmuscle a defender. It won't work. He'll go over, try to win a free kick. That won't work. Or the ball will just go out. That's it. That's the only thing that'll happen. The game was really nervy and sloppy. Højlund said after the game, we had control, even though it was nervy. He was like, no, there was no control. The goal that
didn't feel like control.
The goal that they gave away, Maguire passes it across the yard. It's a very simple 5-yard pass. He scuffs the pass. Athletic Club go on the attack and score. But it routinely happened for 70 minutes where they couldn't get the ball down, set the tempo and play normally. They can't do a boring 70 minutes. They can't do it. What also kept happening is the chance that they did create, the one that Garnacho fluffed in the first half, they finally got the ball wide to a winger, found the free centre midfielder inside, smacked the ball to Højlund, who dragged the centre back. He laid it off, and then, hey presto, there's your spare fullback. And then he passed it through to Garnacho. That's what they finally did. That's what the system is finally trying to do. What was happening for the first 60, 70 minutes? They'd fire it into Højlund. He can't make the ball stick. Athletic Club turn it over. By that point, they've committed so many men up the pitch at the Athletic Club. It was very like, within 5 yards, they were close to Man United's penalty area. And it was a big, big problem. And then, aside from that, they just kept giving the ball away. Like Ugarte gave the ball away like 60, 70 times. And there was no one to just get the ball down and just smartly set the tempo and be boring for 20 minutes. Do a Schweinsteiger.
Well, I think I remember there's not Schweinsteiger, Tony.
Yes,
Kroos
no, but I remember
they need someone who.
I remember Bastian Schweinsteiger's kind of awful. I forget that he even played for Man United, but every time he came on, he did make it really boring for 15, 20 minutes. They'd put him on when they were winning. He'd make it boring for 20 minutes because he was like, relax, I've done this for ages, we're winning. I know how to get us from 70 minutes to 90 minutes and to win the game. All right, he wasn't the best of signings. We signed him so late. One of like 100 signings where you go, he's far past his best, but come and we'll see what we can do. They don't have someone like that who can get the ball down and just play for 20 minutes. They don't. Man City do it from 0 to 90, right? It's a death by 1,000 passes. Yeah.
It's probably one of the profiles they're looking at in the summer, someone who can help control the tempo in the middle of the field. And it's just the nature of who we've got. Like, Ugarte has many qualities. His range of passing is not the highest. Casemiro, we know he is like a bit spray and pray with his passing, but that's actually been a benefit. Now they've moved his position slightly. And Bruno, he's the best creative passer, but also the best controlled passer in the team, but he was further forward. And like that debate about can he do it when he's at number 8 and can he be more sensible with the ball? Like that's ended now. We know he can. He was just further forward in this game. And so, yeah, the profile, we don't have a ball carrier in midfield unless it's Kobbie Mainoo, and then we have a question mark with his physicality there. We don't have a controller in central midfield to go along, and we don't have a progressive passer, right? And so, you know, have a look at all those profiles, what's missing from the dynamic. And I'm sure Amorim would want someone like in games like this where you want to grow up a little bit and suck the life out of it. And we couldn't do it at all.
It was a big issue. Things got really nervy. But then things changed when the subs came on because the United's best player of the season came on, Amad Diallo. And all of a sudden you had
I thought you were going to say Mason Mount for a second then.
You had a focal point. You had a winger who could run at someone. You had a winger who could combine with the fullback. You had a midfielder. Mount is an interesting one because he was part of a very successful Thomas Tuchel team under Chelsea. They consistently were in the Champions League. They were consistently finishing in the top 4. They won the Champions League. That midfield of Jorginho, Kante and Mount was very tactically disciplined. They knew where to be in certain places. They could carry the ball from defense into attack. They could, all of them knew what to do. And they knew how to feed an attacking three. And it's one of the most successful systems in recent memory that I can think of, playing with a back five. So Mount just comes on normally, and he has a footballing IQ of it's just further or better than the other Man United players. He buys fouls in the right way. He feints in the right way. He can pass in the right way. And like last night's cameo and the goal against Brentford was, I think, a sign of what he can actually do as a United player. He's just not been fit. I keep saying it. He's not been fit.
Yeah, sure. I still get the what exactly does he do vibes of him, and there's that like every football fan says that about Mason Mount. Every coach loves him, and every fan's like, what exactly
do you do
is
again?
it? So, trying to find a place for him in the side, it's a hard one because you suspect that United's best team would include Bruno, Mount, Ahmad, maybe Garnacho. I mean, he's very productive. I mean, he's played a lot of football, maybe, but he's pretty productive. Yeah. I mean, like, what's the combination? Like, it probably doesn't include Rasmus Højlund, but you do need a forward on the pitch. Yeah. So, like, this is the problem, and also the dynamics of if you've got Mount and Bruno in those tens, then you haven't got ball carrier. If you've got Amad Diallo in there, you've got to drop one of the others, and you're sure as hell not dropping Bruno. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic for the final. Like, who is it? Like, probably, like, we're heading towards one where Alejandro Garnacho does not start, but he started like 50 games this season or something mental, right? He's like, for all the talk of, will he fit in Amorim's system? He picks him every week, like every single week he's picking him. So, but he had a big moment of the night where he made the right run, the out to in run, and timed it well, which he didn't do against Brentford at the weekend. Of course, got caught offside, and then just absolutely fluffed his opportunity. And so I looked up all the data and I tweeted out, if he could just up his conversion rate from 18% to 25%, he'd be a very, very good player. Of course, I was looking at I calculated the wrong one. That is 18% of shots on target. 18% of shots on target he converts, which is actually not bad, right? That is above league average. It's the getting the shot on target in the first place, which is the problem. So you convert them all together, calculate them all together, and he's at just under 8% conversion rate this season, which is not good enough for a player of his talent and for a team that wants to challenge for stuff, right? If you're going to be one of the three forwards in a top team, and we're not a top team, you have to convert more than that. That's not saying he can't get there, but it's a worry, isn't it? And certainly doesn't help with the fans, right? Fans get on his back when he misses big chances like that, which he does, and he's missed 13 big chances this season. He
does miss a lot of them. It's weird that it's like he's the one who can run in behind with pace. I mean, now that Diallo's fit, he's not the only one. He always takes a man on. He doesn't care about missing chances. It's not like Højlund. You can see he's got a confidence issue. You can also see that there's certain ways that he posts on Instagram after he scored that goal, and he was like, "I needed that." You can tell he's not. Yeah, you can tell he's feeling the burden of being a Man United player. Garnacho doesn't care. He'll have a goal again and again and again. It's just there's a finishing touch lacking there. I'm hoping that he's a very young player. He's only had 3 full seasons. He's had probably 1 full season playing as a starter under Ten Hag last season. It's a very dysfunctional attack. It doesn't score a lot of goals. Yeah, I'm just hoping that he can refine certain things and become a good player. Even if it's like, okay, keep him on the bench the next season. Have Diallo as a starter. Have Fernandes as a starter. Right. Have another striker. Bring him on the last 20, 30 minutes to stretch tired legs. It's just it's that age-old topic that we go on through week in, week out, where it's like, I think he can do this, and I think X player can do this, and it's like there's a lot of moving pieces and moving parts there, and I'm like, where do they all fit in?
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and Did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe you like cooking. Maybe you don't. Either way, the new Blue Apron is for you. Because along with our classic meal kits, we're offering new pre-made and one-pan meals to help you get dinner on the table fast. And now there's no subscription needed, so you can just order and enjoy. Do delicious food your way. Shop 100+ meals at blueapron.com. Get 50% off your first 2 orders with code APRON50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Well, quite. Look, I don't really subscribe to the social media narrative, which basically goes something like this. Is this player the best player in the world?
Yeah, that's true.
Trash.
That's true.
It's nonsense. Like, he's got many, many qualities. And as I've said before, and this is not me standing for him because I know he's got weaknesses and areas of his game he has to improve, right? But he's got 11 goals, 10 assists. Look down the number of under 21 forwards in Europe that have got 11 goals, that many double figures goals and assists. And you've got Desiree Doué, Lamine Yamal, and Ryan Cherky. And that is it. And Alejandro Garnacho. And that is it, right? And would the world of United Twitter be absolutely creaming their pants to get any one of those other 3? Yeah, of course they would. So there's lots to work with, but he's a flawed player. Doesn't mean you can't iron out some of those flaws. And I think one of the things that I like about him is he's, one, the willingness, but he's also coachable. And you can see that, right? Because he had that moment where he got dropped alongside Marcus Rashford for the City game. Amorim hasn't complained about him once since and picks him all the time, right? He's changed his game as well. He's playing much more inside than just on the wing. It's not just getting chalk on his boots. And so there's hope there. But of course, he's frustrating. And last night was a big frustration because clearly he had many options there. Hit it much, much earlier. Don't wait until the keeper's like 3 feet in front of you. And don't try the finessed finish when you're not that kind of player.
True.
Right? First time into the corner. Anyway, what can I say? Like, how many goals have I scored at the top level?
Anyway.
Precisely 0. Yeah.
Anyway, look, I think we've touched on some very negative points. They got the job done. They're in a final.
They did get the job done. 77 minutes onwards, it was brilliant. I tell you what, if you take United's performances against Lyon, second leg, Bilbao, and this one, take just the last 20 minutes of each of those games, you got an hour of the most perfect football ever. We've scored about 12 goals in 60 minutes.
I've lost count. So it was Mount, Casemiro, Mount again, and Højlund were the goals.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Højlund scores before Mount's final one, right? So it's Mount with the
Cruyff turn,
the Makeda finish, the Cruyff turn and the Makeda finish. Casemiro getting in the right place again.
He is really really good in the air. He's really, really good in the air. He always has been. Two goals in this semi-final tie. One in each leg. Both of them were really, really important. They put the game. His one in the second leg, I think, put the game to bed. His one in the first leg sort of opened things up and was leading to Man United getting a really, really good result. Now we have, 11 days of pure nervousness. Because this is what it is, right? Because there's so much riding on this final. There's so much to lose. Imagine losing to Tottenham after all,
Spurs.
I know. There's a lot to lose. And there's a lot to gain. It's just, it's a team where it's they pull out random moments and you go, where'd you pull that out from? Where'd that come from? And it's okay, there's this whole Man United DNA in big moments. It must be because it's the 4th final in 3 seasons. So they can turn it on when they want to. They beat Liverpool last year, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. And that team has gone on to become the English champions. They beat Man City's Guardiola. They were title winners last year. They beat Newcastle when they were obsessed with that Carabao Cup win. Do you remember how obsessed they were? Eddie Howe came out in a press conference and said, yeah, listen, it's actually really hard and was really hard to keep everybody concentrated and not to be thinking about that title. And within about 60 minutes, that Carabao Cup was won. So you go into this thinking there's players who week in, week out tell show you they're bad. And then they come up with a random moment. So it's a very nervous 11 days. Just enjoy the fact that they're in a final. Finals, anything can happen. Mourinho said it himself. Finals aren't made to be played. They're made to be won. And he's absolutely right. Just go in there and get the job done. But it's better said that it's easier said than done, really.
Well, that 2017 Europa League final, Mourinho, that one completely played Marouane Fellaini up front, launched it long against that Ajax side. Yeah, it was not pretty, that one, but he definitely got it done. Let's talk about Rasmus Højlund's goal for a moment, right? So he's got a few in recent weeks. He did his very, very best to miss that one last night. Right? He had the entire goal. He had 8 yards of goal. He basically passed it back to the keeper who dove over the top of it. I was just like, what? That is the worst finish from 2 yards out I've ever seen. Well, no, it's not the worst one because there are players that have missed from there. Yeah.
I tweeted out today. I was like, he can't stop the final. Against Romero.
He's going to.
But against Romero, against Van de Ven, he's going to start the final.
Yeah, he's just going to fight with them all.
Look, just put Diallo up there. He'd probably compete more than him. Put Diallo up there. Garnacho, Diallo, Fernandes, Mainu, Casemiro, or Casemiro Mount, or Casemiro Ugarte. It would be, the teams would be miles more threatening. That's just the way the season has gone. He's not a confident forward right now because he shouldered all the blame. But his overall game is something that is kind of infuriating, and it's kind of got infuriating. He doesn't do enough for the team. Right, forwards,
he hasn't progressed.
Forwards have this debate now in modern football where it's like, yeah, but he doesn't score that much. But normally those forwards, they create space for others. They pull centre-backs out. They drop deep in build-up. I'm not sure Højlund does. I'm not sure. I'm sure Højlund does not do that. So, and you're going up against Romero. Like, this guy will kick him within the first 20 minutes and then kick him again and then kick him again. So it's just, he doesn't fill me with any excitement that Højlund is going to be in that front three in the final. Amad Diallo is back, though.
He most certainly is. Yes. He made Rasmus's goal, and Rasmus should be thanking him. Talking about socials, Rasmus Højlund posting on the socials, I need this. Amad Diallo, absolute menace on the socials. He's an absolute menace. Whoever's doing it, well, I guess it's him because it's so crude and authentic. But
did I miss something? Yeah. When the hell was that selfie taken?
Yeah, I don't know.
When was that? I think I was on the game. I was doing a match report for somebody on the game. Maybe that was why. Boy, anyway, I think I don't know how this final is going to go. Because we keep saying, yeah, they've been beaten 3 times this season. But you have to look at the different contexts in those 3 games.
Yeah.
Right. The first game, it was Erik ten Hag. They were doing that stupid pressing system of, no, you attack. No, we attack. No, you attack. Okay, now you have 50 yards of space in the center, in the middle of the pitch. So Amorim wasn't the coach for that. The one away to Tottenham was the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That was one of the most hilariously haphazard games I've seen. That was when 2 teams realized, we're mid, you're mid, let's just go at each other. And they couldn't hit a blind door. Again, same story. I think they had about 50 chances, and they hit the post, they didn't score. Tottenham gave tons of space. Tottenham will press Man United, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's what they do.
In the final, can you exploit the space in behind them when they press? And then at the third game, the Carling Cup, was the one where it's like both keepers were absolutely awful. So the games between Ange versus Amorim have been an absolute mid-off. They've been absolutely terrible. So it's not like, yeah, they've beaten us 3 times, but don't miss out the context of those 3 games. One of them, it wasn't even the coach that we have now. So let's just see. I just feel as though there's so much to lose with this final. If they lose this final and he loses 4 or 5 games out of 6 next season, he'll be gone, is what I can see.
For sure.
He's a really great guy.
No bank of credit.
He's a really great guy. Yeah. He's a really good communicator, but just, and that's what's maybe kept him afloat. But then there's things that he said that you can use against him, because I can already sense the fan base being really angry because of the amount that they've lost. Even last night where he was like, I'm already really stressed about the final. Dude, you can't be that guy coming home from a 9-to-5 job going, oh, what a bad day at work. Like, no, say some strong words. But anyway, I've got a lot of time for Amorim. It's just, we're looking forward to a final now. At least we have a final to look forward to. It's just, I don't know, losing to Tottenham would hurt so much.
Don't get in that mindset. It would be awful on so many levels. Let's focus on the prize, not on the consequences of defeat, right? Because the prize is there. We're playing a very average side with an awful lot of flaws and some very obvious ones as well. A team that ships a lot of goals, which is useful because although we can't score goals in the Premier League, we certainly can in Europe. Although this is going to be a Premier League game, basically played in a neutral venue. That'll be interesting. They have lots and lots of flaws. This will also be Ange's last game in charge. Everyone will know that as well. I'm not sure they'll be playing for him necessarily. Nice bloke, mate, and all of that. But it's not worked out for him. And so Spurs will be doing their best to get, well, how many coaches will turn Spurs down this summer? They'll go through Iraola and a whole bunch of others that will turn them down because they'll all be looking at that and go, no thanks. And they'll settle on someone equally flawed, but this is a flawed Spurs side with a flawed system that Ange hasn't got the players that are good enough on the ball to play the way that he's trying to play, where they compress the game into about 10 yards worth of space. So, yeah, space is there to be exploited for United, which you'd imagine Amad Diallo, assuming he starts this one, Garnacho, if he comes off the bench, will be able to do. Like, I mean, we'll do a proper preview, but already looking ahead to it, I for sure, I don't want Rasmus Højlund fighting with Van de Ven and Romero for 90 minutes. We're going to be playing with 10 men. I'd be interested in a different system there. Even playing Bruno at false nine. Not that I really want to do that. I'd rather, actually, I'd play Diallo or Mount at false nine ahead of Bruno there.
I think, have we tried that? I think he's tried that this season. I feel like we've tried it.
I
feel like someone's tried Mount false nine. Maybe he had City. Yeah, I think City. Community Shield, that was it.
Yeah, it's just not valuable for Rasmus Højlund to be taking up a space in the team and the system without contributing anything. So, but I imagine he'll start anyway. I mean, there's no chance Josh Zirkzee is fit.
No, unfortunately,
there are no other options. But the price is there, man. There. We actually there was a debate, and I don't know whether you ever listened to the Football Cliches podcast. Why didn't they invite me on? I want to go on that podcast. Invite me on, Adam.
Who chairs that?
Adam Hurrey. The man is obsessed with the language of football. He's great. And anyway, they had a debate the other day about what is a thrashing in a two-legged game. Because United won this 7-1 over 2 legs. That was not 7-1 in terms of quality between the teams. Like, that is freakish score. There's no way. Because they outplayed us for a good 120 minutes of that 180 minutes we played.
They outplayed us for 100 minutes. I give 100 minutes. Half an hour and then 60, 70. But that's not. It's a United are a moments team. Literally, they're a moments team.
True. Yeah. Well, we're not a real team yet, but this. Nervous yet?
I mean, I think the first half of this podcast has been going all with a win, and then the second half has been just
hear it all the way through and fuck it up.
But I think we should end on the fact that there is a golden opportunity to save the season. I don't care what anyone says, right? If you salvage Europa League and you win a Europa League out of this dreadful season, you've saved it. I don't care what anyone says. You've got into the Champions League. You've given the team extra funding in the summer when everyone's telling us we're skim. You've got a European trophy. You've got the players believing again that they can win silverware. It's just, can they go and win the final now? It's 90 minutes of football that are going to decide the season. At least they're there. At least they're there, because week in, week out, this team has not deserved to have 90 minutes at the end of the season to save it.
Sure. Saving is the right phrase. Won't be successful.
Yeah.
Saving it. I think it'll be a very different vibe if we win it. There'll be a lot of relief involved rather than just the celebration of the win. I don't think we'll be doing an open top bus parade, for example, even winning a European trophy, because of just the vibe we've got. I think it'll be all right on the last day of the season. Are we home or away to the last day of the season?
Home.
I forget now. Home. All right. We beat Villa on the Wednesday. We beat Spurs on the Wednesday. Parade the trophy at Old Trafford on the Sunday, on the final game of the season. Marcus is there with the Villa squad to wave goodbye
everyone applauds
the
Marcus Rashford. And, it sounds like we're setting up a very nice story. It's just there's one Aussie in the way. There's one Aussie in the way.
Dear me. All right, we'll do a deep dive tactical preview with you and Daniel before the game, no doubt. And I'll have to go and watch a few Spurs games. Let's watch them this weekend. This weekend, United have got West Ham, who are one of the very few teams in the country that are legitimately worse than United. What are we going to do? I mean, they can't score goals either, West Ham.
Have a cup of tea. Forget that the game is even on. Nobody cares. Play the kids.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do whatever you want. Just don't get anyone injured.
That's it. He won't play all the kids, but they've got to get some momentum before the final.
True.
So it's managing load from here on, isn't it? So just making sure that over the next 3 games before this final that we don't burn everyone out, basically. And so how many minutes does Bruno need to play to keep sharp versus not get injured? Like, how many minutes do Diallo and Mount need in order to be in contention to start the final? I mean, Diallo, I imagine, is like a shoo-in, basically, for the final. Mount is a different question. Amorim loves him. So, but it's like getting all these players minutes. Do you play Rasmus in order to try and get him more goals to build the confidence? Or do we just go, we don't believe in this guy anymore? Do you play Chido Obi because you're keeping people fresh? It's all live questions. I mean, not very relevant. There are, of course, 3 million, 3.1 million. Facility fee plus prize monies and so on, and success money, blah, 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 for each place in the Premier League. So I think the best we could achieve is 13th.
Come on. Come on.
How is that? The worst is 17th, which if we lose to West Ham, we'd be behind them.
Oof. Crazy.
I know. Spurs are playing Palace this weekend at home.
Oh.
So Spurs and West Ham win this weekend. We are 17th in the league.
Don't care. In a final. Win the final.
Don't care. Pretty fucking embarrassing, though.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
New Year, same extra value meals at McDonald's. So now get 2 snack wraps, plus fries, and a medium soft drink for just $8.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
But we've been through week in, week out how embarrassing it is. So I think let's just focus on the fact that they're in the European final. And this is like the final that they could be in. People who take the mick out of Europa League, right? Liverpool were in the Europa League last year. They tried their best to get to the final. They didn't. Obviously, the quality was a lot better. It was Bayer Leverkusen and Atalanta in the final last season. But still, this is the competition they were in. They're unbeaten. They got to the final. So at the very least, they're in a final and they have a shot at saving the season.
You think Arsenal fans who have been your chippy this season would won a European final? European finals are for everyone.
We're not gassing this final up for no reason. Other fans, Arsenal fans, are not happy that it's an all-English final. They were watching that AstroTurf pitch. They were watching Old Trafford last night, hoping that something would happen. It didn't. Okay, there is something to play for in the business end of the season. That is a big deal.
Yeah. Can we talk for a moment? Since we're not really previewing the West Ham.
How long is this? Really the longest podcast. This is great.
Is this your debut on the main pod?
I didn't realize I was on the main pod. Wow. I'm honored. I'm so honored. I'm gonna close the other tab that I had trying to get back money tickets. That's how honored I am.
Deary me. Heading the game, Dharnish. Pornhub.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. My little dashboard here, I can see what you're looking at.
Can you actually?
No, I can't.
There's nothing else open.
No, I can't.
There's nothing else open. My poor old laptop.
Sure, Dharnish. Can we talk about Anthony for a second? He scored an absolute an absolute worldie of a free kick against David De Gea, off the post, and then a nice assist, made the good run into the channel and put the ball across for a tap in for Betis's winner. He's adding zeros to his price tag by the week. The Betis chairman keeps saying, we can't afford him, which is true. If you said 32 million, which is United's break even on PSR, if you that is the minimum we'd accept. I mean, we'd have probably accepted less 6 months ago, but at that point, with his performances, 32 million, that would be Betis's record transfer. And mind you, they did, remember, back in the day, break the world record transfer for De Nelson. Back in the day, it's 25 years ago or whatever. But nowadays, I mean, he's got them. They were 14th when he joined, or something like that. I can't remember. They're right down the bottom of the table. They are a couple of wins away from being in the Champions League next season. They're right there. Look at the La Liga table. They could make it.
They're behind Bilbao now, I'm guessing.
They're right there. They might do it, and then they would be able to afford it. But either way, they could.
I think
you wouldn't have thought so.
Get as much as you can for a loan fee, right? I don't know. Give me 20 million. You can have him for another year. Come back next year, the year after, if he's good, and you can give me another 20 million. Just keep taking him on loan.
Yeah, but they didn't pay a loan fee this time round. They paid 84% of his wages. Oof. So the only way you do that again, right? Like this year, for accounting purposes, is basically you just call it sunk capital, right? The costs have gone. Next year, I wouldn't say that because you don't want to be effectively subsidising another team again. So they should look for a fee. It's cheaper, literally cheaper to take half that 32 million than it is to load him out, basically. So, because you get 100% of his wages off the books plus the whatever PSR you could reduce. So, yeah, look, they'll sell him. If his this successful loan spell has attracted
other interests,
apparently Athletic, right? Then great. He seems to have settled in well in La Liga. Fantastic. But it will be the conference final will be the battle of the United failures, the United cast-offs, Sancho versus Antony. And who'd have thunk that Antony would be the most successful of those two?
Please, Antony, please. I need a goal from you in the conference final, please. Because they
will all be supporting him.
I've spoke to a bunch of Chelsea fans, and they're literally, I was like, "Oh, you're in the conference final." They go, "Oh, yeah. Don't care at all." Like they do not care one iota that they're in this final. You win nothing, right? They're not going to get anything, even by winning that final. The only thing you do is save yourself from embarrassment. Antony, please, I'm begging you, or Rabona, do your Rabona skill. Take on Levi Colwell and smash into the top corner. The only thing that is happening from this Antony thing is, okay, it was embarrassing anyway to pay that 80 million. He was never going to repay that. He never really even got a chance to prove that he was any good because he had barely any games at United. And he was never going to live up to that billing anyway. No one ever lives up to 80 million. Who's ever lived up to 80 million? Maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, that's it. It's a positive that this is going so well. I would say it's positive that it's a win-win. It's a win-win
for everyone.
Keep racking that fee up, buddy. Because if Betis can't pay it, maybe somebody else can pay it. And if it's Atletico Madrid that can pay it, how many players have gone to Atletico Madrid where they've overpaid and it hasn't worked? Loads. Like the only players that work at Atletico Madrid tend to be the ones that are workhorses for Simeone and tend to be the ones that give the lives for them.
But that's Antony.
Yeah.
Low productivity, high work rate, and now he's got high productivity. And amazing.
Well, La Liga suits him.
All righty. It does, clearly. I mean, he's not without talent. It's just he was never good enough for United to... I mean, the scouting assessment that said United should pay 25 million for him was about right.
Yeah. Maybe we can at least...
It could be Maresca's last game for Chelsea because the fans hate him. So, or maybe not. I mean, they could well qualify for the Champions League and win this, and they couldn't get rid of him at that point. Yeah. But slow is extremely frustrating for many Chelsea fans, I think, with Maresca, but it shouldn't be a surprise. That's his system. All right, we'll leave it there. United are in the final. Congratulations to everyone who's won their tickets in the ballot. Good luck to everyone who's trying to get there.
Me.
3 planes,
I need
2
a ticket.
trains.
Me, please.
Yeah. If anyone would like to offer me a ticket and a ride in a private jet and maybe some paperwork help, then that would be very good. I'm not expecting it, but yes, we're there almost.
Yeah.
Dharnish.
Full speed ahead, Bilbao.
Thanks, everyone. You can catch us at patreon.com/NQAT pod if you want the extra pod. I haven't done one this week. We'll work something out. And or Apple Podcast subscriptions. Catch us on the podcast apps if you're watching, or on YouTube if you're listening, if you like that kind of thing. Thank you, Dharnish.
Goodbye
now.